The domestic rites embrace the whole course of a man's life from his conception in the mother's womb up to his death, or rather beyond it, as several ceremonies refer to the departed souls. The point to note here is that Sanskars range from 40 Sanskars in the Gautam Dharma Sutras up to 14 Sanskars in the Grihasutras. The conventional list of 40 Sanskars or sacraments explain the general nature of these rites and ceremonies and throw a flood of light on the manners and customs of the period. These 40 Sanskars or sacraments are Garbhadhan Sanskar, that is, ceremony to cause conception. Second, PUMSAVANA Sanskar. PUMSAVANA Sanskar is a ceremony to secure the birth of a male child. Third, SIMANTONAYANA Sanskar. SIMANTONAYANA Sanskar is carried out to ensure the safety of the child in the mother's womb. Fourth, JATAKARMAN Sanskar. JATAKARMAN Sanskar is carried out for the newborn child. This ceremony is carried out before cutting of the umbilical cord and involve the whispering of sacred spells. NAMAKARANA Sanskar. It is a ceremony of naming the child. Sixth is ANNAPRASANA. The first feeding of the child with solid food in the 6th month is known as ANNAPRASANA Sanskar. CHUDAKARMAN Sanskar. The tonsure of the child's head in the 3rd year is known as CHUDAKARMAN Sanskar. Upanayan Sanskar. This is the initiation ceremony. By this ceremony, the child enters upon the brahmacharya or the austere life of a student. The 9th to 12th Sanskars are the 4 vows differently named in different sutras which were undertaken for studying the different portions of the Vedic literature. The 13th Sanskar is the Samavartan Sanskar. This is the ceremony of the completion of studentship. The student pays a fee to his teacher, cuts his hair, beard and the nails, takes his bath and returns home. Sehe Dharmacharini Samayog. The taking of helpmate for the fulfillment of the religious duties. In other words, this sanskar is known as marriage. After the student career is over, the career of the householder begins. The first duty of the householder is to marry a girl. 8 different kinds of marriages were prevalent in ancient India. They were named after various gods and supernatural beings. The 8 types of marriages prevalent in ancient India were Brahma, Prajapati, Arsh, Dev, Gandharv, Asur, Rakshas and Paishach. The details of the types of marriages is available in another episode, Types of Marriages, the link to which is given in the description box. Sanskars 15th to 18th were known as Panch Mahayajnas. They were to be performed daily and consisted of Brahma Yajna, Pitra Yajna, Dev Yajna, Bhut Yajna and Purush Yajna. Teaching and studying of scriptures is the sacrifice offered to Brahman, and that is known as Brahma Yajna. The offerings of the water and food known as Tarpan is the sacrifice offered to the mains. This worship of the ancestors by offering of water and periodical shraddhs is known as Pitra Yajna. The burnt oblation, that is worship of the gods by pouring ghee in the sacred fire, is called Dev Yajna. The Bali offering, the sacrifice offered to the Bhutas known as the goblins, is known as Bhut Yajna. And the hospitable reception of guests offered by householder is known as Purush Yajna. Sanskars 20 to 26 are the 7 kinds of Pagyajnas or small sacrifices. They are the Ashtak, the Shravani, the Agrayani, the Chaitri, the Ashvayuji, the Parvan and the Shraddh. The Ashtaks are sacrifices offered on the 8th day of the dark halves of the 4 months from Kartik to Magh. The Shravani is offered on the full moon day of Shravan. The Agrayani on the 14th or on the full moon day of Agrayan. The Chaitri on the full moon day of Chaitra, and the Ashvayuji on the full moon day of the month of Ashwin. Parvan is offered on the new and full moon days, and the Shraddh is one of the most important domestic rites. Sanskars 27 to 33 are the 7 kinds of Haviryajnas, and Sanskars 34 to 40 are the 7 kinds of Somyajnas. The Haviryajnas as well as Somyajnas are more highly developed rituals and are treated in detail in the Grihasutras. Important thing to remember is that Sanskars 1 to 26 are described in detail in Grihasutras, and Sanskars 27 to 40 are described in detail in Grihasutras. In Sanskars 27 to 40, in Shraddh rituals, the priest play the most prominent part, whereas in Sanskars 1 to 26, in the Graha Rituals, the essential duties are performed by the householder himself. The 7 kind of Haviryajnas are the Agnyadhe, the Agnihotra, the Darsh Purnimasas, the Agrayan, the Chaturmasas, the Niruddha Pashubandh, and the Sautramani. The Agnyadhe is the establishment of the sacred fires, 3 or more in number. It was the bounden duty of every householder to set up these sacrificial fires in his house. These fireplaces served the purposes of temples where God was worshipped. The Agnihotra is the daily oblation in the 3 sacred fires. The Darsh Purnimasas is the yajna on the full moon and new moon. The Agrayan is the oblation of the first fruit of the harvest. The Chaturmasas are the yajnas at the beginning of each of the 3 seasons. The Niruddha Pashubandh is the animal sacrifice effected separately, not as an integral part of another ceremony. The Sautramani, the essence of this is the offering to Ashwins and Saraswati. The Sanskars 34 to 40 are the 7 kind of Somyajnas, and they are the Agnishtom or Jyotiragnishtoma, the Atyagnishtoma, the Uktaya, the Shodasan, the Vajpayee, the Atiratra, and the Aptorium. All these were more or less different forms of Agnishtom. Apart from these, many other yajnas or sacrifices are mentioned in the scriptures, and most famous amongst those are Vratistom, Rajasuya, and Ashwamedh Yajna. If you want to join online classes for UGC NET History, please contact us on venus.jain2607@gmail.com or WhatsApp number 8454931380. If you have liked the episode, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.